Broadpeak.io is a video API platform, which is actually helping video service providers to contextualize and personalize their streaming and raise their viewer engagement. Broadpeak.io, it's a must for any kind of video service providers looking to automate content replacement, looking to build a virtual channel, or looking to have a dynamic ad insertion orchestrated from the server side. Broadpeak.io is the best solution in the market for any kind of video service providers looking to have a time to market very aggressive. It's actually self-serve, so people can connect within minutes, ingest their content in the platform, and within within a very short period of time, they are able to show to their team that the solution is working out of the blue. Welcome and thank you for joining me today on this NAB Amplify featured video. My name is Mathias Guille and I'm the head of the cloud platform at Broadpeak. Today we are going to introduce you to Broadpeak.io, our video API platform, streamlining the process of stream personalization. We are going to have a quick agenda to start with. We'll make a quick introduction about Broadpeak and Broadpeak.io. Then we will explicitly describe what is our mission in the video industry. We'll get a bit more familiar with the platform itself. We will review applications and use cases addressed by the platform. At this stage, we'll try to dig it up a little bit on the integration of the platform with the overall ecosystem. Then we'll do a demo, a quick demo, and finally will be the time to conclude, right? So first of all, a quick note about Broadpeak. Broadpeak is it's a software company powering streaming services for more than 200 million people in the world. It's something that we are very proud of because all of our customers are global, and we stream them like across more than 50 countries, and it's distributed all over the world, all over the globe. And we are a French company. We've been founded in 2010. We develop again a software for the video streaming, and it's really focusing on the data plane. We name that also the AV pipe. And we start on the origination and we focus on distribution. We are mostly famous for our relationship with service providers, such as cable operators, telcos, mobile operators, and basically anyone with a network can leverage our technology. We deploy solutions such as Origin for cloud PVR or CDN assisted by multicast ABR. And beginning of last year, we were looking to find a way to mainstream a little bit our technology. Our reason behind that is it was more than 10 years we were developing advanced streaming technology for tier 1 pay TV operators and very complex workflows. And we realized that it was not about software eating the world anymore. It was video eating the world, and our solution was really fitting that. And right now, we will launch in January a new platform called Broadpeak.io to address this. So Broadpeak.io, just taking a look at the DNA of the platform. It's first of all, it's an API platform. It helps manage streaming services at scales with few lines of code. So people are basically developed on top of our platform. It automates the full life cycle of video services. And here we do that for really embrace the current movement in the video industry, empowering DevOps, and which are looking for more agility and control. Broadpeak.io is a SaaS, is public, global, self-serve, fully secured and auto-scaling. It's multi-tenant, and like you've seen a lot of services like that in the industry, but they are missing the care that software providers can give to their customers. That's what we also all about. Is like we provide a SaaS, self-serve, but we still have like Broadpeak people behind it. And if you are like blocked at some point, you will have people to answer you. And Another characteristic of Broadpeak.io is a SaaS to access the most advanced streaming technologies used by the most important pay TV operators. So it's not really like commodity technology such as encoding or transcoding or anything like that. It's really, to address advanced streaming solutions. And finally, it's a suite of application. You will see that Broadpeak address multiple use cases that we are going to discuss today. So let's dig it up a little bit of what we are fixing. What we have been seeing in our industry lately is the viewer attention really shift from the main screen to companions, to phones, tablets, and people are always on looking at it. They pass their time to on their phone instead of being focused on the main screen. That's what has been called the infinite scroll effect. You've been seeing that on Instagram, on TikTok. You've been seeing that also on Twitter with people like live tweeting sports events, for instance. I experienced myself, like some personal advice coming, in real time on Reddit. You have like newsroom on with 24/7 web pages during events, which are also, carrying a lot of attention. And so our mission at Broadpeak.io, it's really to raise the engagement of viewers using streaming personalization. We believe that it's really the key to give growth back to video services platform. In particular, we believe contextualization enable competitive advantage to Broadpeak.io customers, enabling better monetization while saving costs. Okay, so personalization, if you look at the numbers, I'm not sure you know that, but like when you start personalizing a video content for your subscriber, it increased by 23% the number of content interaction on video platform. It also increased by 20% more or less the login activity, meaning that like when the stream are personalized, people are coming back more often to the platform. It has also a significant impact on the click-to-watch conversion rate, meaning that like people are going to browse the content and they are going to click to watch the content. Okay. For the viewers, there are also like obvious benefits. The personalization brings back what we call the lean back experience that people love when they were used to broadcast, and they get also access to more relevant content, which is increasing significantly the NPS score. And Broadpeak.io is all about focusing on that. So now let's take a look at the Broadpeak.io website so you can get a better feeling of like what I'm talking about. So the Broadpeak.io website, it's available on Broadpeak.io, Broadpeak.io, of course, and you will see right away that like it's a self-serve platform. You will be able like to get started to sign up on the platform itself, so you can log in. You have like a different explanation of the benefits of the platform with access to the different application right there. And you will see also that like there's a part really focusing on developers, right? So you have access to a knowledge center, which is giving you different guide, different API reference if you want to test it out and look at the different change that you have seen on the platform. You have the capacity at any moment to connect with people, real people, if you have any question. And what is important as well is like in real time, you have the status on the platform. Okay. We are going to dive a little bit into what application and use cases Broadpeak.io take part. So we work basically on three main subdomains right now. The first one is the automation of content replacement, which is mainly for regulations perspective and where we help to reduce the cost. The second one is about the creation of virtual channel based on prepackaged live and on-demand content that you can mix together. And finally, the dynamic ad insertion, from the server side with any kind of flavor. And I think, what is important is to note that the two latter apps enable a third one, which is the creation of like fast channel. So if you're not familiar with fast channel, it's like free ad supported TV, which have the same objective of monetization, right? And as you can see, there are many use cases applicable in every app. So we can make sure that we address different type of situation, market segments, and customers. Coming back to the website, what I would like to do is like a page on dynamic on one of the application. In that case, the dynamic insertion. So on every application we have, you can go ahead and see the benefits. You see the different use cases. You have also for the benefit, I'll talk about that, but you have also an architecture for people which are like really deep into looking at the different, how it's going to integrate in the ecosystem. And we have a quick demo. And so in that particular case, I would like to show you a quick demo of like targeted ad insertion. And so in that case, we see like a regular end user on the left and a targeted end user on the right. So when you click on play, you'll see, for instance, how you can monetize better when you target an end user based on its own category. So in that case, I use a sports fan category. You see that the advertisement is all about sports. Let's imagine I'm doing that based on a user targeted as a family category. We'll see that in that case, the advertisement is different, right? So this is, what the dynamic ad insertion application is all about. Okay, coming back to the presentation, let's look at the ecosystem. Okay, concept of Broadpeak.io, it's the contextualization engine, leveraging manifest manipulation technology. So let's review step by step a video chain delivery and see where Broadpeak.io is. So when you create your video platform, typically what you do at first is like you prepare the content, you process the content. As soon as that is done, you are going to use an origin. You are going to push your content to an origin, which is also typically a packager. Then a CDN is going to distribute the feeds to your customer. Okay, here comes Broadpeak.io. Broadpeak.io is going to put the manifest of the video content, not the video itself, just the manifest, which makes the solution super easy to integrate. And what we do is like we are going to manipulate the manifest based on criteria, which are going to be fully triggered by API. We use different kind of API. Sometimes we use CT224. Sometimes we use VAS when we do a targeted ad, for instance. Or sometimes we use also like just public REST API. Okay, so the idea is really to either adapt a linear channel already created, maybe to add an ad for video on demand, right? But it's really about like manipulating the manifest. And as soon as the manifest has been manipulated, what we do is like we get that back, that manifest to the CDN, and the CDN can get the manifest personalized from Broadpeak.io and the video fragment from the origin and deliver that to the OTT clients. What is super, super important is like Broadpeak.io, it's a novelty service, and you don't need to change anything. You can keep every single component of your video chain delivery. You can keep your CMS, you can keep your transcoder, every single step you don't really have to change. The only thing you need to do is you need to tell your CDN to get the manifest from Broadpeak.io and not from the origin anymore. Let's pass some time for doing a quick demo now. So I'm going to I just connect to the application, the web app of Broadpeak.io, which is like in a free for access. Like the first 30 days are free to access. And what is interesting with the platform itself is you have a dashboard, and the dashboard is giving like clues on how to get started. Okay, and let's imagine like you need to do a quick demo to your board, but you don't have time to look at what kind of source you can do for the demo, right? So what you can do with Broadpeak is like if you click on services, you can create a new demo. So let's imagine I want to demonstrate how to do blackout with Broadpeak.io. So you click on content replacement, and the platform itself is going to create everything you need to do the demo. In that particular case, it creates two sources. It creates like one original source, like in that case, it's a sport event. And it creates also, like an alternative content. In that case, I've created, like just a message to say that we are going to black out the feed. You can create a content replacement slot. In that case, for the demo, it's a 30 seconds slot, which is going to happen in 30 seconds. So I need to make you wait a little bit so we can see, the output of Broadpeak.io really creating the blackout, right? And so what you can see right away, like the Broadpeak.io is going to generate a new URL, and that new URL is where you can get access to the manipulated manifest, with the CDN needs to pull to provide to the end users to make sure that we can personalize the session. Okay, let's just wait a little bit more. So the 30 seconds happen. Okay, here we go. So you see that on the right, the output of Broadpeak IO in that case is like we have been black out that particular session for that particular users. Okay. So let's imagine now that you want to do something else. You want to do ad insertion, right? So the way you do it is like you go on sources and you are going to create an ad server, because of course, when you create an ad server, you need to, when you create an ad service, you need to have an ad server to tell you what ad needs to be, like insert in the feed. So I'm going to use an ad server right there. I'm creating it. And now I can create a service. So I'm going to create a new service for ad insertion. Let's call it live pre-roll. I'm going to use the same source that I was using before. And I'm going to select pre-roll, right? Now that I have that, I'm using the ad server that I just created. I'm going to tell the system that I want to transcode the ad, because of course, in that case, like the ad is going to come from somewhere, and we want to make sure that like the transcode is good. As soon as that has been generated, again, I have created a new service. Okay, and I can go on the new service. I have a new URL which has been generated by Broadpeak IO, and that new URL is the one you can use on your system. And same, you can actually, like look at the preview. You have the original source, and you have also like the output of Broadpeak IO, and you see that in that case, we have inserted an advertisement right before the live. It's an advertisement for Fitbit in that case. And yeah, it's the way that it works. I'm going to wait just a little bit the end of the advertisement so you can understand and make sure that we are coming back to the live at some point. Okay. So I'm sure at this point you have noticed how quickly it was to configure the system. Here we go. So now we are back to the live. So one last thing that you can do with Broadpeak IO is like we have created Postman collection for our customers, which are a way also like to automate a little bit the use of our APIs. Okay, so we have different collection, and in that case, for example, we have a collection to create new virtual channels. So same, if you need to run a quick demo to your board, but you don't have time to orchestrate the schedule for virtual channel, just use one of our collection. You click on play, is going just to execute the different API calls to create the right services, the right slot on your account, and so you can make sure that the demo can happen. Okay, let's come back to the presentation. And just to conclude, basically, I believe that there's not real fatality around the lack of engagement of streaming viewers. In particular, Broadpeak IO can help on multiple levels that you can have. You can retrieve the viewer attention by using social media ingredients which are related to the personalization. If you bring more personalization on your video streaming services, you will raise engagement and you will be able to have better numbers, basically. And what is important is right now the industry has just reached a level of maturity in terms of technology, which is good enough to propose at scale, individualized content, which was not the case in the past. And with platforms such as Broadpeak IO, you can do that with an aggressive time to market. It's the end of the demo. Thanks a lot for your time. Do not hesitate to check Broadpeak IO out and let us know your feedback. Thank you. Have a good one.